Seven Trumpets Prepper. And guys, welcome to a extra crispy cold day with me riding home. Now, there's two types of cold. There's cold and there's extra crispy cold. And today is extra. I'm telling you what, I'm like 4 layers deep up top. Popsicle. Let me tell you, if you're an electrician and you're wiring, the last thing you want is a cold day because your fingers are just like this, trying to move like chopsticks to wire things. This video today, I want to share with you some thoughts that I have arrived at 39 years of age. I was this year's old today when I finally concluded a lot of these matters. This may be offensive to people, deeply religious people today. Certain women today, this will be offensive, especially women that's not Torah observant. And some people that just absolutely make religion out of politics. I think I'll probably offend a couple people with that. But this is facts. It doesn't change. It's not even Luke's opinion. This is like literally clear, repeatable, tangible, empirical evidence, right? So let us begin. First and foremost, the only thing that matters anymore is the kingdom of Yah. Because there's like absolutely no incentive to do the so-called right thing anymore. It's just not. And I'll get to that. And I want you to understand, I'm not encouraging anybody to be sinful. Fear Yah, keep his commandments. But there's doing the right thing by Yah, and then there's like doing the right thing by man's standards. And man's standards suck. And it's just no longer applicable to my life. I don't know if that's a Sigma male mindset that I've heard a lot about. I don't know if it's just the obsessive compulsiveness in me and the strong desire of self-autonomy and independence. Oh, that sun. Sorry, had to go squirrel for a second. Soak that just few drips of vitamin D in there. Is that it really comes down to, and there was this sci-fi thing way back in the day. It was Star Trek, The Next Generation. Picard on there, and I use a lot of pop culture and things to try to resonate with a lot of young people and middle-aged people that watch my content, right? So I do this as somewhere to meet you in middle ground, right? And Captain Picard made a quote one time that he said, you know, you can do the right thing and still fail. That is life. And it's so true. And it's so true in our generation. Like if you're a late Gen Xer, you're a Gen Z, you're a millennial, listen, we got nothing but the train coming down the track of hard times and just suck. All right, it just sucks. A lot of the things that we're dealing with in our generation. And there's nobody to lean on but the Most High. Because you can't go to your elders because they never experienced it. They're experiencing crap for the first time right now, today. So welcome to the same club, all right? So it's up to us. And so we live in a society where that it's do as I say, do not as I do, okay? Especially when it comes to the government. And I'm going to tap the government in between, but I've got like relationships to talk about, jobs to talk about, family, church. Like, I just want you to see this, and especially for men. From a man's perspective and for men, you need to understand this because it's helping me have so much peace in this last generation that we're living in, okay? Now, to put the tone for what I'm saying is do as I say, but not as I do. I bought this electric vehicle that I'm driving right now, used, at the first of last year on the pagan Roman calendar, right? Because the true scriptural calendar starts in spring, right? So, I buy this thing, and you're supposed to get like 30% tax credit. So I figure it up, and me being a numbers guy that I am, I literally got it down by the grace of the Most High that I was to get $125 tax return this year. Keep in mind, that's pretty good for the fact that I run 2 businesses, I work a job, and I hustle. So I was like, hey, sounds great. I just don't want to owe nothing. Come to find out that the government didn't have the portal up in time for the car for the dealership to log it in. So when I filed on my end at the end of the year, you know, the dealer's supposed to report to the government and I'm supposed to report, and it's supposed to match and be concise. Well, I did my part, and then it wasn't able to be logged because the portal wasn't there, but the government won't honor that. And it's their darn fault. So you see what I'm saying? So Now I was supposed to pay $1,700 in taxes back to them. That they actually were supposed to net out. But that's just how it is. And you got to understand that you're living in a time, unlike any other, that you're supposed to be held to your word. You're supposed to be held to your contracts. You're supposed to be held to every stipulation. But you're not supposed to check nobody. Now, with that said, I'll come back to this in a minute, especially the Doge thing and so many other things I just want to tap that on. That's just such hypocrisy in our time, right? And I'll get to it. But what I really want to say on a serious note right now for a moment is that when it comes to relationships, and I'll get to family in a bit, is that when it comes to solid relationships anymore, it is just, to me, almost unachievable, okay? Because there was this guy asked this woman I seen, and he said, if I have a paid maid, a paid person to initiate intimacy with me, and now keep in mind I'm not encouraging sin, I'm just using this as a teachable moment, and I have friends, I have my freedom, I have my own home. What do I need a relationship with a woman for? And the woman was left dumbfounded because she didn't have an answer, and the answer is he didn't need her. I'm not saying that's the right thing to do, but I'm saying that the culture, especially Western culture, the decadence of it, feminism, the whole 9 yards, has created that atmosphere for that to even be a conversation. And, you know, there's just this ever-moving goalpost for men, and especially in relationships. And intimacy is held hostage if you don't comply. This especially happens to men in marriage, and I'm telling you, it will not happen in my house, because that will be the end. Like, I'm telling you, like, I've told my wife that. I'm like, there is certain boundaries we've you know, I feel it's very important in relationships to have very clear boundaries with people, and that way whenever they're not upheld, then that's that, you know, terms of service. Because I have told my wife, it's not my job to make you happy. It is also in turn not your job to make me happy. That is a personal thing right down here in this thing inside of you called your core, in your inner spirit, right? The part of you that's like everything, your essence. It is important to understand it is your responsibility as a human being to make yourself happy. Now, don't get me wrong. You can go to work and people can be a dirtbag. It can be miserable. Life can be miserable sometimes. It's really miserable here lately. Like, you know, just atmosphere of just so many things that's went on around us since 2019. I get it, guys. But it's important for people to make themselves happy. Like, you need to be your own source of happiness. A sentient, self-operating being, okay? Like, you don't need to be leaning on everybody else to make you happy. And if you are, you're failing at life, okay? And so, like, men, I think that's one of the hardest things that, you know, we face is figuring that part out. And as I get older and older, I'm like, nobody's responsible for me except me. Not my wife, not my children, you know, not my mother and father. I mean, up to a point getting me into adulthood, but it's like, this is it. Like, I am fully responsible for captaining my own ship. And, you know, moving away from that, it's like your job. You know, like, I go to work anymore, and especially after this third time being sick this year, I have a whole new mindset of when I go to work, even for myself, is that your job will be replaced. Like, if you're a contractor, some other contractor is going to backfill your customers when you're dead and gone. It's just going to happen, because the phone's going to, you know, somebody's going to need something fixed. They're going to need their wiring fixed in their service panel. Their toilet's going to clog up. An electrician, a plumber, a carpenter, somebody's going to be backfilled, okay? And it's not an easy thing to accept at times, but you're going to be replaced in life eventually. And when it comes to your job's going to be posted before they're done slabbing and tagging you at the morgue. And, you know, you need to take your breaks. You need to take your lunches. You need to take your vacations, and you need to take time and spend with your family when you go home. Because my job is not my everything. Matter of fact, this job will probably not be my last job. Who knows? You know, what I do, I've owned 3 businesses. I may not be doing any of those in a few years. I may do something else. I may not do nothing at all. Life changes, and you need to go with the flow. And I mean, it's just, I know a lot of this stuff seems common sense, but things have been just weird for so long. I don't even think most of us have the ability to think straight anymore, because we're constantly being bombarded with stupidity and what to think and this cultural doctrine that's being pushed upon our minds. It's like, my job is not my God. Okay? I appreciate the check. I appreciate the employment. But it's not my everything. And, people will say, well, we're a family here. No, we're not. I don't go home and break bread with everybody. I don't go home and take care of your house. I don't understand it. I'm like, I go to work. I go to the golf course, spend time with my friends and family. I go fishing, spend time with friends and family. I go to work to produce a product. When I take the guys out and we do off-grid work together, when we done, I went and took us all deep sea fishing. Now we family. When we're at work, we're working. All right? That's just how it is. All right? So, I don't know what more to say to that, but it just is what it is. And I made a video a long time ago, link will be in the video description below, and I've told people, be prepared to be betrayed by your friends and family in the last days. And we are literally watching it take place at record pace. The craziest thing is that 2019, during Rona, actually set that precedent. It divided families. Now, what's great about that is that was just a practice run for the New World Order, right? So you actually got the opportunity to test people's spirits, because it's so easy to do lip service, but when things rubber really meets the road, it's great to really see where people stand. I love crises. I never thought I would, at 39 years of age, be like, I love a good crisis. I really do. It always sifts the wheat anymore. It's the great chaff sifter. And I'm so grateful for when bad things happen anymore. I'm grateful for when I face a crisis, because if I come out the other end of it I'm always a stronger person mentally or physically or financially, or something is bettered in my life despite the storm. It just clears all the garbage and drama and trauma and people out of the way. And I don't know what more to say to that. But, like when it comes to church, because I want to get back to government on this, is that when it comes to church anymore, it's just such a clown show too. And as a man, it's so imperative that we show up, especially people in Torah, especially women that's in Torah that don't belong to the streets, like I just expressed with some of these people in relationships, is that it's so important to show up and be a light for the kingdom to your children, because church ain't going to be that anymore. Church is not that anymore. I would be terrified to take my kids and leave them with someone in church anymore, because I don't know if they're going to be molested. I don't know if they're going to be indoctrinated, that they don't know, that it's okay that they don't know what gender they are, even though they know what gender they are. I mean, like, there's just so many things that could go sideways in the church house anymore. Furthermore, your pastor might even be confused at their gender. So, there's just so many things going on in church anymore, not to mention that they don't even teach to keep the commands, the statutes and judgments and laws of the Most High anymore. That's just don't even worry about that. Dude, these are serious conversations. I know this might sound like a rant, but I'm just calmly having a conversation with you, telling you, this is where we're at. Welcome to 2025, right? On the pagan, satanic Roman calendar, that's where we're at right now. Yeah, 2025, I think. And so, that's where you're at, man. And so, your choice as a man, because I know this can be collectively spoken to men and women, but I really want to hone this to men, is that you can serve Yah or you can serve men. And I am at the point where I don't know if I will enter the kingdom. That's left up to the master, but I will definitely strive to serve him. Stop stupid sins, stop pet sins, get some stumbling blocks out of my life that I can dig up with a shovel and get out of the way myself, and trust he'll get the bulldozer and move the rest of them out of the way that I can. Is that I've got to, be focused, because I've got to be the captain of my own ship, and I've got to be the guidepost for my family and for my children, because there's nobody to lean on anymore. Your workplace, most people at your workplace are dirtbags. Let's be honest. I go out in town, I just look at people and I'm like, do they have seats on? I'm like, I can pick out believers, genuine believers, just by the people that have seats on. It's crazy. When I run across them, I'm like, hey, and they got seats on. And I'm not saying just because you wear seats, you're righteous. I'm just saying it's easy to pick out Torah observant people. And to keep Father's calendar, commands, the whole 9 yards. And so I'm like, you go out and you look around, you're like, you already know you're in a small number, right? And then as a man, even before we get back to religion, even as a man, you're small in number anymore if you just, try to protect your family, try to protect your family's values. Because, like I said, you don't have church to lean on. Most people don't have family lean on. I don't have no tribe lean on. My tribe's dead. My tribe is dead. I mean, like, my mom is all that's left of my tribe, okay? And she's very up in years, so I mean, I don't know how long I have her, and that's it. It's Luke. It's Luke. So, a job can't count on. My relationships, my wife's my only anchor I have to depend on at this point in life anymore. So if she dips out, that's it. I'm completely an island, And so it's a very sobering reality, and it's why you need to be vigilant and understand that, like, the environment that's been created around us, this construct, there's no incentive to really do the so-called right thing anymore, because the construct that's created around us ain't good. It ain't good in religion. It ain't good in workplaces. It ain't good in relationships. It ain't good in families. And when we get to the real worst thing, which I've saved for last, is the government, because I know it's going to be a persecuting arm of Satan's kingdom very soon, especially in America, is that, you look like this whole Doge thing that was created, right, to curtail spending. And then I see this sitting president of the United States of America, flying around NASCAR the other day, wasting taxpayer dollars. And that's to the tune of probably 25 to 30 grand, I would imagine, a tank of fuel for that monstrosity would cost. It's going to come out of your children's future. And then was at the Super Bowl, right? And I'm not saying president can't go to these events. All I'm saying is now he is in a place of authority, supreme, pretty much almost authority, right, of the nation. So at that point, all eyes are on you. You requiring security, you requiring all these things. Your life ain't normal no more. So when you decide to still participate in these things, you cost a ton of money. But on the flip side of that, we're over here like, well, that was frivolous spending, that's frivolous spending. You got to understand we're operating in a realm where there's just double standard all the way around. Double standard. Like I said, even with dating women, there's this ever-moving goalpost. And then they'll leave you because they're not happy. But flip, they weren't happy with themselves. You didn't have a thing to do with it. Keep in mind, men, that some of the richest men in the world, their wives still left them. If you think a bankroll will fix it, if you think that you're the man behind the closed doors can fix it, if you think that you got the six-pack and you can fix it, bro, I've seen it all. Listen, Luke's not killing himself. I'm going to take it easy. And let me tell you something, gentlemen. Whenever hard times come soon, and they're probably just like 6 months out from, the real hard times, is if you got 4 walls, a roof, and some jasmine rice on the table, you'll probably have somebody want to come live with you. Don't worry about being lonely. I wouldn't even lose my sleep over that. But anyway, the laws being passed and all this double talk of government, and please keep in mind, everybody, we're just trying to cut dollars back right now because we got to fund a multi-billion-dollar beast system, AI, tracking, insertable, mark of the beast, Hell's Gates open wide, crazy stuff to get it delivered to you. All right, we got to save them dollars because we got to get this beast system going. All right, and so I know what's up. And for those that's out there that's watching and paying attention, y'all know what's up too. So separation is coming, as I've said, and the great experiment that I call between 2019 and 2014, said thing. It's just all going to be a repeat soon. And so I'm telling you, this whole expecting me to do the right thing out here, you can forget it. Luke is out. I have no incentive to do the right thing anymore other than pain of death and going to jail, because outside that, the actual doing the right thing, honoring the Father and honoring the kingdom and doing the commands, is running complete opposite with what's going on in the world today. It's just two paths just completely crossed, divergent of each other. So I'm telling you, you better find peace and joy and happiness in solitude and in people letting you down. Because I said it long ago in that other video, and bro, it's coming to pass at light speed. And I just see more and more of it every day. So guys, hang in there. Do the best you can. If you got people in your life that love you and love the Most High, hang tight to them, because I'm telling you, we are entering some crazy, crazy dark times out here. And just try to have peace of spirit, because I just keep waiting for the Master's return. So guys, as always, till we see you again here, 7 Trumpets Prepper Channel. Hope Most High Yah Baruch you and keep you. make his face shine upon you, show you favor, and give you shalom, my friends, in Yahushua name. And thank you to everybody who financially supports the channel in the slides coming.